this is Jyotsna. Today we are going to discuss about an interesting and important topic, that is ratio. In the next video we will discuss what is proportion. Okay, so without what is learning that ratio, after we will learn what is ratio. Now let's see what is comparison. Okay, we all of us know, we all compare about something in our daily life, that one human have given birth till death, he compares anything, anyone. Okay, if there is one family, they have two children, then there is comparison between those two children. And if in a class there are some children, their comparison, they have comparison between them. So in our daily life, many more comparisons will be done. So comparison means comparison between two quantities means ratio. That's it. So comparison between two quantities means that ratio. See, ratio means comparison. Ratio means comparison between two quantities. Okay, ratio means comparison between two quantities. Okay, ratio means enough. When we compare two quantities, that is ratio. No, when we compare two quantities, if we are calling that as a ratio, then that should have an equal kind, same kind. Okay, comparison between two quantities of the same kind. Okay, the ratio which we are making of two quantities, they should be of the same kind. Like they should be liters, or liquids, or they can be solids, marks, or weights, ages. They should be equal kind. And next is if we compare two quantities and if they are in same kind, that is also not enough. If we want ratio of those two digits, they also should be there should be also have the same unit. Unit means we already know, same kind and the same unit. Units means already know that we already know that units means liters, grams, kgs. These all things are called the units. And with that, they should be by division, by dividing one by the another. Okay. Ratio means we got the answer. The meaning of ratio. Ratio means is that comparison between two quantities of the same kind and the same unit by dividing one by the another. Okay, this is ratio. So ratio means when we compare any two quantities, those should be of the same kind. Means they can be liquids, they can be solids. If one is solid, then other should be also solid. If one is gas, then that should be also gas. If we are doing comparison between any two persons, then we have to compare the age. If we are comparing the age of one person, then we have to compare the age of another person. If we are comparing weight and weight only, we have to compare in the another person, not another. And then we have to also compare in the units also. Same units there should be there. So not only in the kind, we have to see in the unit also. If there is liters, then here also it should be liters. If there is grams, then here also it should be grams. So same units also should be there. That is by dividing the two units. This is dividing the two quantities. Okay, which we are taking. If I am taking A and B, those two should be of the same kind and those two should be of the same unit. And by dividing one by the other, this all should be happen when we divide one by the other. Okay, this is how. If I am taking an example, that is I'm taking an example. If we want the ratio of these two digits, let's take A and B. If I want the ratio of these two digits, that is A and B, then they should have the same kind. They can be liquids or marks or size or weight or age of any person, like that. They should have the same kind, and they should have the same unit, liters, grams, kgs. They should have the same unit, and if you want to write them in a ratio, then they should be divided. Here only we have written by dividing one by the other. So if you want the ratio of these two digits, if they have same kind and same unit, we know that if they have same kind and same unit, then by dividing only we can write the ratio of these two digits. Okay, so division means like this: A by B. This is by division. When we divide any two, then we will write as a fraction. But we don't want a fraction in here. We want a ratio. So ratio we write like this. That is A is to B. Okay, this word we read as A is to B. Okay, we read as A is to B, means this sign, that is two dots above them, that is called as A is to. Okay, that is to. If we want the ratio of any two quantities, then by dividing we have to find the ratio. Okay, here we want the ratio of these two quantities. Then I have to divide these two. That means I have to make it in a fraction, and after that I can write them in a ratio. Okay, like this. That is A is to B. If I am taking another example, see, I want the ratio of 1 and 3. Then I have to first write them in a fraction. That is 1 by 3. 1 by 3. Then 1 is to 3. Like this. Okay. If I want the ratio of these two digits, that is 1 and 3, then first they have to written in a fraction, or they can be divided, we can say, and then we can write them in a ratio. Like this, we do ratio. We form ratios of any digits, any two digits. Okay, this is how. And next is, here we have took the two digits. These two are called the terms of ratio. Okay, these two are called the terms of ratio. So here the first one, that is A or 1, we can take these. So first one are called as the first term. That is A is equals to first term. Okay, this first digit here is A, no, that's why I am taking A. It is called as the first term. Okay, it is called as the first term, and B, here it is B. B is the second term. Second term. First term and the second term. So, not only first term and the second term, these two have another names also. So, let's see those. See, A can be called as the first term or the antecedent. Okay, the first term A can be called as the first term or the antecedent, and the second term, that is B, that can be called as the second term or the consequent. Okay, second term or the consequent, first term or the antecedent. Okay. So, remembering these two words, that is antecedent and consequent, if you feel like it is difficult to remember, like antecedent is a big word to remember. So, if you want a shortcut to remember these two, so just here it is written first. All of us know alphabets. Alphabets start from A. Yes, alphabet start from A. Then the first letter is A. Then you can remember A. That's it. As a simple trick. That's it. No need to. If you remember, then you can easily tell that this is the first term is antecedent and second term is consequent. Okay. If you don't remember, if you just remember that antecedent and consequent are the terms of ratio, then you can remember it like this. That is first term. In alphabet's first letter is A. A means antecedent. Write the first term as antecedent. That's it. If anybody asks 1:4, 1:4, then what is this? Which is the antecedent? What is the antecedent? Then how can you answer? What is the antecedent? Yes, this is the antecedent. How? See, if you remember, then you can write the antecedent. But if you don't remember, then you by seeing only we can say that this is the first term. Yes. So first term means you have to remember that first alphabet A. A means antecedent. And then if you don't remember this second one, that is consequence, then here also we have a small trick just for remembering purpose. Okay. That is in second, the third word, that is C. C is consequent. That's it. For remembering purpose, I'm telling. Don't do like this. Just you remember. You can remember, then you will. You have to. Then if you don't remember, you can follow this trick. Okay. If you don't remember, and then these are the terms of ratio. That is first term or antecedent, and the second term or the consequent. So like this, these two terms are there. Now we will see about one rule. See. If in the question that is given that find the ratio of 1 and 2. If in the question that is given that find the ratio of 1 and 2. So you have to write the ratio as 1:2 only. Yes, here the first term should be in the first term place only, and the second term should be in the second term place only. It should be not changed. If you write 2:1 in the question that is given that find the ratio of 1 and 2, and you have written that 2:1, like telling that this is also equal, but it will be wrong. Okay, this 1:2, here it is given 1 and 2. You have to write the ratio as 1:2 only. If you write 2:1, then it will be wrong. Okay, if it is given that 1:3, then you have to write 1:3. If it is given that 1:5, then you have to write 1:5 only. If it is given that 5:1, 5 and 1, then you have to write 5:1 only. So you have to follow the question also. Okay, you have to keep concentration on the question also. So like this, you have to keep this in your mind, or otherwise your answer will be wrong. Now, let's see the next thing. That is simplest form. Simplest form means this is if the terms means we already know the antecedent and the consequent. So if these two terms have the HCF, means the highest common factor, as 1, then those two are called as the simplest form. Means those two are said to be in the simplest form. So let's take an example there for simplest form. 2 and 4. I'm taking the example as 2 and 4. If I want the simplest form of 2 and 4, then if I want the ratio should always be represented in the simplest form only. Okay, that should be represented in the simplest form only, otherwise it will not be the answer. Here it is given that 2, 4. Then the ratio will not be 2:4. Here I have to then 1 and 2. Here it can be. Why? Because the HCF of 1 and 2 is 1. That's why. So, but here 2 and 4. Here the HCF of 2 and 4 is not 1. Here the HCF of 2 and 4 is 2. So if the HCF of any two digits which you want to compare is 1, then those can be written in the ratio, and those are said to be in their simplest form. If their HCF is not 1, then they are not said to be in simplest form, and we cannot write them in the ratio. So here we don't have the digits in their simplest form and we cannot write their ratio. Then we will not leave that like this. We can convert them. That is, here already we have seen that by dividing one by the other. If you want a ratio of any two digits, we have to divide them. That is 2,4. We want the ratio. That is 2 by 4. It can be cancelled by 2. That is 2 ones, 2 twos. 1 by 2. Then the fraction will be 1 by 2 and the ratio will be 1:2. Okay, like this we convert the simplest form like this by calculating the digits like this, and we write the ratio. It's very simple to convert. Okay, if you don't understand, let's take another example. See. Okay, I'm taking another example. I'm taking 3:9. 3:9. So 3:9. HCF of 3:9 is not at all 1. So we have to convert those numbers to become their HCF 1. So how to? Just write in the division form, that is in the fraction form, that is 3 by 9. They are cancelled. See, 3 ones is 3 and 3 threes is 9. 3 ones and 3 threes. Then the fraction will be 1 by 3 and the HCF of 1 and 3 is 1. Then here these two digits are said to be in their simplest form and 1 and 3 can be written as in a ratio. So that is 1:3. That's it. Okay, this is how we convert and we convert any two digits in their simplest form. Okay, this is how we convert. Now let's discuss about another thing, that is we have discussed what is simplest form, how to convert them in the simplest form. And remember one thing, that ratio should always be expressed in its simplest form. Okay, ratio should always be expressed in its simplest form. And remember another thing, that 1 by 3 or 1:3 means if it is written in a fraction, any two digits, if we want to compare those in ratio and converting them in ratio, so first we have to divide them, means we have to convert them into a fraction. So if we write them, let's say A and B, and if you want to convert them into a ratio, then A by B, first step is to write them in a fraction, that is A by B. So A by B or A:B is equal. A by B is same as A:B. So but we have to convert them into ratio. So that's why we are writing that A:B. So we have to remember that A by B or A:B is same. Another thing, that is ratio is always expressed in its simplest form. And next, let's go to the next topic, that is equivalent ratios. Okay, what is equivalent ratios? Equivalent ratios means that if we take any two digits, let's take 1 and 2, 1 and 5. I'm taking 1 and 5. 1, 5. Okay, equivalent ratios. So already we know what are equivalent fractions. We have learned in the small classes. That is equivalent fractions means that any fraction is there, let's think 1 by 2, then we multiply only same digit to the numerator and also to the denominator. Like 2, I am multiplying it by 2. 2 ones is 2 and 2 twos is 4. So the equivalent fraction of 1 by 2 will be 2 by 4. So already I have told you that fraction, that is a fraction is equal to its is equal to a ratio. So here I want the ratio of 1,5 in its equivalent ratio. So then already I have told that we can change them into a fraction, that is 1 by 5. 1 by 5. If I multiply them with a single digit, with a number, same number with its numerator and denominator, I am taking 3. Okay, 3. 3 ones is 3 and 5 threes is 15. So here I want the ratio of those, that is 3:15. Okay, 3:15 will be the equivalent ratio of 1:15. 5. Okay, this is how we do the equivalent ratios, by multiplying only one digit, same digit, with the numerator, with the first step, that is antecedent and the coefficient. Okay, consequent. Okay, like this we convert some equivalent ratios. So like this. Okay. Now, so I think you understood what is equivalent ratio. Equivalent ratio means if we take a ratio, or if we take a ratio that is 1 A and B. So if we want this A and B converted into an equivalent ratio, then we have to multiply an equal digit and same digit to the both antecedent and the consequent. So then the product which we have, the fraction which the sum rate will come, then that ratio or fraction can be called as the equivalent ratio or equivalent fraction. So this is equivalent ratio. Now we have here we have discussed what is simplest form and what is ratio and what is equivalent ratio. So now we will discuss about some examples in following by these equivalent ratios and simplest form only. So let's see some examples including this topic. So now let's see some examples on this topic. Okay. First question, first example is compare the ratios 1:4 and 2:3. So compare means we have to find the smallest ratio and the highest ratio. So here 1:4 and 2:3, we have to compare these two ratios, that is 1:4, 2:3. We already know when we write in the fraction form, then fraction form is equal to the ratio form, that is 1/4, 2/3. So here to compare, we have to make the two fractions like fractions. So if we want to make them into like fractions, we have to find the LCM of the denominators, that is LCM of 4, 3. We already know the LCM of 4 and 3, that is 12. So 4 and 3 LCM is 12. Now we have to multiply these two fractions, that is 1/4 into, when we multiply, which number will be multiplied to 4 to become 12, that is 3. 3/3, that is 1 3 is 3 and 4 3 is 12. 1/4 is over, and now is 2/3. 2/3 into, here it is, we have to multiply which number to make the 3 as 12, that is 4. So 4/4, 2 4s is 8 and 3 4s is 12. Then the two fractions will be 3/12 and 8/12. So the denominators we have made them same. So now we have to find which number is greater and which fraction is greater and which fraction is smaller. We by seeing only we can guess that this fraction is greater and this is the smaller. So this is 1/4 and this is 2/3. Then here I am writing that 3/12 is smaller than 8/12. 3/12 is smaller than 8/12. That is why 1/4 is smaller than 2/3. Here we got the answer. So simple to find a comparison. That is just you have to make the denominator same. It means that we have to make them in a like fractions, and then we have to compare them, which is smaller and which is greater. That's it, and write the real form of their ratios. Okay, that's it. And now let's see the second question. That is second example is if A is to B is equals to 2:3 and B is to C is equals to 6:7. Find A is to B is to C. Okay, see the question. Here A is to B, A value is 2, B value is 3 in here. Okay, and here the values are given. No, A is to B is 2:3 and B is to C is 6 is to 7. We have to find the ratio of A is to B is to C. Now, see, A is to B, that is 2 is to 3, and B is to C, that is equals to 1. 6 is to 7. If you observe clearly, if you observe concentrated, then you can see that in these two ratios that are given, that in those the B, value B is same in here. See, B and B, but in the numerical form it is different. That is, here it is given as 3 and in this it is given as 6. 3 and 6. Here it is given as B only, but here it is given as 3 and 6. So here first we have to equal these two B's. So see, for doing this equal, we have to find the LCM of these two digits. That is LCM of 3, 6. We already know the LCM of 3 and 6. That is 6. We already know. Now we have to equal this B value. That is, first ratio is 2 is to 3. Now we can write them as 2 by 3. Yes, and to make 3 into 6, we have to multiply it with 2. Now multiply it with 2 by 2, that is 2 twos is 4 and 3 twos is 6. And the second value is 6 is to 7. 6 is to 7. We don't want to change the denominators. We don't want to change the denominators, or we don't want to change the fractions as the like fractions. We want to change equal the value of these B's. So for that we have to see the B values only. That means here it is 6 only. If we multiply with 1, it will be 6 only. Here with the LCM is 6, so that's why it is 6 by 7 into 1 by 1. 6, when we multiply 6 by 7 into 1, then it will become 6 by 7 only. Now the fractions will be 6 by 7 and 4 by 6. Yes. So without thinking anything, right? A by B is equals to 4 is to 6. A is to B is equals to 4 is to 6, and B is to C is equals to B is to C is equals to 6 is to 7. Now without thinking we can write the answer. That is, A is to B is to C. That is equals to, we already got the B value equal. So we can write that 4 is to 6 is to 7 is the ratio. Okay, if this method is difficult, then we have a small trick to find the value. See, just write the values which are given. That is 2 is to 3 and 6 is to 7. 2 is to 3 and 6 is to 7. Write like this in this form now. Now multiply 2 and 6 and 3 and 6. Multiply 2 and 6, 3 and 6 and 7 and 3. Like this. We have to multiply those. See, we have to multiply 2 and 6, 3 and 6 and 3 and 7. If we multiply 2 and 6, that will become 12. 2 6 is 12. 12 is 2. Now 3 6. 2 6 is 12. 3 6 is 18. Then 18 is 2. And next is 3 sevens. 3 sevens is 21. 21. See, we got the ratio. But we already know that a ratio can be expressed always in its simplest form. So now it can be cancelled. That is, in which table? In 3 table. That is 2 4s 12, 3 4s 12, 3 6 18 and 3 7s 21. 4 is to 6 is to 7. It will become 4 is to 6 is to 7 will be the ratio. See. You can see the answer. It is a small trick, and this process is the main process that you have to do. So this is a small trick that you have to multiply 2 and 6, 3 and 6, and 3 and 7. This is how we do this example. So second example is over. let's go to the third example, that is C. Question is that if 3a is equals to 2b and 2b is equals to 5c, then find a is to b is to c. Then we don't know the value, means which is equal to these three digits which are given. That is 3a is equals to 2b is equals to 5c. 3a is equals to 2b is equals to 5c, and we don't know the value. That is, let's take, I'm taking as k. Okay, is equals to k. 3a is equals to 2b is equals to 5c is equals to k. Now, if we want this a value, that is, see, a is equals to, when we take this 3, this is in multiplication. When we take to that side, that will be in division. So k by 3. A is equals to k by 3. We got the value of a. And next is b. That is, b is equals to, when we take this 2 on that side, it is in multiplication, and when we take this 2 on that side, it will be division. Then k by 2. Then b is equals to k by 2. And next is c. C, here it is in multiplication. Here also it is in multiplication with c. 5 is with c. Then when we take this 5 on that side, that will be in division. That is, c is equals to k by 5. We got the value of these three. That is, a is k by 3, b is k by 2, and c is k by 5. In the question, what they asked, that we have to find the value of a is to b is to c. Now we got the values of a, b and c. Now we have to find the ratio of these three. That is, a is to b is to c is equals to, we got the value, that is k by 3 is to k by 2 is to k by 5. Okay, we got the ratio, but we have to keep them in, we have to show them in a simplest form. So for making them in a simplest form, we have to make these three fractions into like fractions. That is, we have to make the denominators equal. See, these three, LCM of 3, 2, 5. So the LCM of 3, 2 and 5 is 5 2s are 10, 10 3s is 30. That is, LCM is equals to 30 we have got. That is, LCM is equals to 30. And now we have to multiply those. That is, k by 3 into 30, k by 2 into 30, and k by 5 into 30. That's it. Okay, we have to multiply the LCM which we have got of these three denominators. So when we multiply, we can cancel them. See, 3 1s is 3. Okay, and 3 10s is 30. And next is 2 1s is 2. How much? 2 15s is 30. 15s is 30. 5 1s is 5. 5 6 are 30. We got 10, 15, 6. Then 10, here it is k also is remaining. Then k into 10 is k10. K10 means we are not write like this. No, then 10k, comma 10k is 2. Next is 15k. 15k is 2. Next is 6k. 6k. Then if you observe k, it is equal and it is also in multiplication. Then we can cancel them. That is, k will be cancelled, and the answer we will get is that is the ratio of the answer, that is a is to b is to c. We will get that is 10 is to 15 is to 6. This will be the answer. That's it. So this is how we use the simplest form to find the ratios of any numbers. So this is how in the next video we will learn what is proportion. In this video we have learned that what is ratio and some examples on that. So now in the next video we will see what is proportion. So for this video is this thing. Now if you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this video.